now by calling 800-340-7091 or see Calvin on the web at 5starsoap.com. This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power generator. Number 1, new climate legislation could easily double or triple your electric bill. Number 2, our new energy czar wants to control how much power your electric company allows you to have. It's true. Total government control of electricity in the name of smart grid technology is coming. Number 3, in some areas of the country, the power grid is dangerously overloaded. And now new socialist legislation is only compounding the problem. Number 4, dangerous weather is always a threat to local grids. Every year, thousands of families lose their power from weather-related outages. Number 5, a solar power generator provides powerful backup insurance and peace of mind. Folks, I really believe in the solar power generators offered by Solutions from Science, one of my oldest sponsors. You can get more information at www.mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com or call 1-877-327-0365.
The folks at eFoods Direct have saved you from the huge price increases on food by buying raw materials ahead and packing your supplies themselves. They haven't increased their prices on great long-term food reserves since last year. With the rising cost of raw materials and gas prices, they can't hold off any longer. As of July 1st, eFoods Direct is forced to increase their prices so they can still ship you the best storable food on the planet. Until the end of June, you can lock in the cost of your food at last year's prices by calling 800-409-5633. Your time is running out to build your supply with the best food on the planet at last year's prices with eFoods Direct. Call 800-409-5633. Prices go up at the end of June. Go to efoodsdirect.com/Alex. Call 800-409-5633 or go to efoodsdirect.com/Alex.
From the front lines of the information war, it's Alex Jones.
All right, I've got a key breakdown of the mafia government that we live under here in just a few minutes, dealing with James Joseph Whitey Bulger, where it's admitted that he worked for the FBI, and that's why he could steal hundreds of millions of dollars. He was rumored when he ran off to have 50 million. He could kill whoever he wanted, including connections to police officers that would speak out against corruption. Well, Bulger's boys would kill him. And if cops ever found out the FBI is the designate hit group to murder police, you'd actually grow up and realize why old-time police departments didn't like the FBI. Remember, it was the FBI told us until the 50s that organized crime didn't exist because the FBI is organized crime. They are the regulators of organized crime. And it's time for America to grow up. I'm willing to go up against the #1 mafia in the United States, the FBI, and I'm willing to call them out. The least you can do is research what I'm about to cover. Now, does that mean the FBI agent that goes to bank robberies or kidnap kids is a bad person? No. They're great people. There's 2 FBIs. There's 2 Delta Forces. There's 2 Marine Force Recons. There's 2 SEAL Team 6s. There's 2 Camp X-rays, at least 2. And when you learn this about the globalists and their compartmentalization, you'll understand everything. They're masters of organization and compartmentalization. And when you learn that there was a war in the mid-1950s against Italian La Cosa Nostra and the other mobs, that's why they had to finally admit there was a mafia, just because the Italians began to actually challenge the WASP and the Jewish mafia, who all worked together. And I don't want to get off into this whole story, but, you know, my dad's great uncle ran dairies in South Texas producing whiskey in Prohibition. He worked with some of the big bootleggers here in Austin. I didn't learn about that till years later doing research. Just some of the wealthiest people in this town made their money bootlegging. You know, that's how they, I don't want to, people need to grow up. Grow up. Grow up. I mean, I've had family connections to, say, sheriffs in East Texas, you know, and this is going back 60, 70 years, and you know, only certain people are allowed to make the moonshine. I mean, grow up, grow up, grow up. Grow up, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I said I'd get to that in a minute. Because I covered this years ago. I covered this back in the mid-'90s with Whitey Bulger, because it's such a great example of this. I mean, this guy could do whatever he wanted, and later it came out, oh, he worked for the FBI. And they knew full well what he was doing. He was their hitman. And it wasn't until later the state police in Boston were tired of it because of Bulger, and that's what you don't see in the mainstream media, likened to, you know, knockoff cops. The police finally did their job and started the investigation. Then the DEA had to come in. The feds wouldn't even send in the FBI to kind of just manage the investigation and cover it up. I mean, do you think it's only Mexico where the police are involved in corruption? They've had rounds in New York's history over and over again the last 100 years where they have to lay off the majority of the police detectives and get rid of them just to stop total corruption. Notice they haven't had any of those purges now, since the late 70s, because now the criminals have fully taken over. You see, all right, I'm going to start over in a minute because I want to take my time on this ahead of Max Kaiser and Bob Chapman joining us. But before I go any further, we have a symbiotic goal here. Number one is to get the word out and to really show people the angles. Because you can look at something the way the mainstream media presents it and never get the world. But we just show you a different angle, and you're like, whoa, I never saw that before. So we're not here to catch fish for you intellectually. We're here to teach you that you already know how to catch fish. Okay? And there's also, again, it's symbiotic, that when you buy the books, you buy the videos, it funds what we're doing, the TV system we're launching, the new studios we've built. You've already seen some of the special reports we've shot in there. We have actually 2 studios over there. And what we're doing, and it's taken us years to set up, is what Glenn Beck is now duplicating, which I think is great. And he's even promoting it the same way, showing his studio being built and all that. It's wonderful. That's the most sincere form of flattery. If he just wasn't pulling dirty tricks against me constantly, I wouldn't have that big a problem with him. But whatever. I understand he wants to get rid of the real McCoy. You know, the body snatcher always wants to get rid of the original body. You know, the counterfeit. It's important for them to you know, to stash the body somewhere, but we're not going away. We're getting bigger here, pal. But I'm already digressing. The point is, we do need to continue to grow, and the more money we get in, the more we can expand our operations. But at the same time, the economy is in the dump, in the sewage line, as many of you know. So we've, over the years, just keep cutting prices down to nothing. Now, I'm going to give you a deal today that is the best deal we've ever offered on videos. There's no doubt. Police State 4, The Rise of FEMA. Fall of the Republic. In-Game Blueprint for Global Enslavement. Terror Storm. The Obama Deception. For $29.95. 5 films. And Mark Dice's new book, Big Brother, The Orwellian Nightmare Come True. Excellent book. I think it's powerful, breaking down the parallels between Orwellville and our society today. This thick book with all the graphics and photos and documents, absolutely free. So 5 films. And let's say you already have seen the films or you know all this information. These are the most powerful films out there to wake people up. No brag, just facts. So get them. Make copies of all my films, get them out to everybody you know, read the book, pay it forward, pass it on to somebody, and know you're supporting us a little bit. Quite frankly, not much at those prices. But it's all available at Infowars.com. And I'm only offering this deal for 1 week, and then not only is the free book deal over with this, but I'm not going to offer the Essential Alex Jones at that price anymore. Because we've actually had retailers that buy it and sell it in stores complaining that we're destroying the market for my films. And I do understand that, but at the end of the day, all I care about is getting stuff out. And yeah, oh, by the way, all the films are free on YouTube with tens of millions of views. And so you don't have to buy them if you don't. But just please don't take this as a gift horse in the mouth, you know. Leads you to water, will you drink, another horse analogy. The fact is, please take the films, make copies, get them on Access TV, pass the video, free video links around, get a PrisonPlanet.tv membership to see them in super high quality with expanded extras that are only on PrisonPlanet.tv, the live video feed, the higher quality podcast. There are a lot of exclusive things at PrisonPlanet.tv that aren't on the Google tube. But again, please support us. That deal will end next Friday. We're going to run it for 7 days. And 5 of my best-selling films, $29.95, with a free book that opened at $19.95. Okay, I am done now with that plug. Oh, I should also give you the number. 888-253-3139 if you want to call. 888-253-3139. And they're in there changing it in the shopping carts right now, so wait about 2 or 3 minutes before you order. Because I just had this idea. Well, actually, I didn't have the idea. I was in the bathroom of all places. That's how hard we work around here. And Tim opened the door and said, I got an idea for an even better special. Instead of just saying you got 1 week left on the Essential Alex Jones and it's over, how about we throw one of Dice's great books on free? And I said, sure. Went over and washed my hands and came in here. So there you go. Even when I'm at the urinal, I'm working. Okay, enough of that, ladies and gentlemen. I was about to say I was in the coffee room, but I have this compulsion against lying, even if it's a white lie, where I want to tell you a story, but I don't want to then give you the absolute true story because it doesn't sound good, and I fight the compulsion to lie. You know, they've done studies that everybody lies, and I do lie. Sometimes my wife says, does this look good on me? And it's just better to not, it's how all women are, it's just better to say, yeah, it looks great. Because for some reason, she's not really asking me. I don't know why. All the girlfriends I had before I was married, same thing. It's like they don't want to hear that really what you think. In fact, sometimes you'll tell them that looks really great what you're wearing. And then they think maybe it doesn't. Are you sure? Are you sure? I'm just like, yeah. It looks okay. Maybe change the shoes. So we all lie. But I really try on this radio show to not shade the truth in any way. So there you go. The decision to give you this incredible special was made while my fly was down at the urinal. That's how hard we're working here at this office, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, I've heard one of the sales guys conducting sales calls. Oh, okay, I'm going to stop right there. You know, I've pledged to myself. I have pledged to myself to be in a better mood and to be who I really am, and to not be so angry because it affects me after work, even at midnight. I can't go to sleep because I get so upset about things. And I've never had my stomach hurt. I think I'm starting to get an ulcer from worrying about things too much. So I'm just going to be a little more happy, have a little more fun here on air, and occasionally screw around a bit. So I apologize for being truthful with you. Oh, boy. Now I feel like taking a break here just because the news I have. See, here's the problem. I'm a happy-go-lucky guy. And then when I cover news, I've already researched all of this news. And then so now it doesn't have that first look excitingness to it. It has more of that disgusting, I've already seen that dead horse in the ditch, to continue the horse analogies. And I don't need to go over there and look at it and smell it again to know it's there. But for you, some of you, it's a new dead horse that isn't in the ditch, but is being catapulted at our society by the globalists. And they're telling us that they're catapulting cherry pie at us, and they're not. I'd rather take a cherry pie in the face than a dead horse, because a dead horse would break your neck. And so I'm now going to attempt to get out of the screwing around mode and cover this next news, because this is weighty news. And I don't really feel like I'm even worthy to bring you news and information of this magnitude. But nevertheless, I am going to cover this news here for you. Now, just want to have a moment of peace here, a moment of tranquil calm, a moment of contemplation about where we are in the world, because this radio show tends to flash by in 3 hours, and like we're in some type of bizarre time warp. And I want what I'm about to cover to really sink in for people. They say silence is golden, don't they? In talk radio, it really tends to get your attention. And I'm not somebody that has silent pauses often. But I think it's important to do it sometimes, isn't it? To really note something important. Okay. I have a report here. I'm sure you've already heard about this. This news came out a day and a half ago. But now he's headed back to Boston to face trial. I wonder if he's going to die while in jail, because they're not going to want what this